Sure it does.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If you're anything like Angela, I know you like to go to bed early. Um, so first of all, like I said, thank you so much for coming. I know that this just means the world to Angela as she kind of starts a little bit of a new adventure. And like I said, you may not know everybody, but the reason Angela invited you all is because I know she is an incredible friend, and when you're an incredible friend, you attract people who care and respect about you too, and just want to know what you're up to. So tonight will be super relaxed and fun. You don't have to buy anything or do anything really. Just being here and watching and listening in to show your support means the world to her. So for the first couple minutes, we'll actually talk about family health. You'll hear a little bit of information and inspiring stories from some people who are taking their health to the next level and who want to help other people do the same. And then at the end of the call, we'll talk about the company that Angela's partnered with. And I know Barbie knows the name of the company. It's called the Juice Plus Company. And it's really allowed people all over the world to create additional options and a sense of fulfillment for their families. So my hope tonight is that maybe something will stand out to you on the call, or you'll think of somebody who needs to hear this message. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I am going to flip my slide here. So I already reviewed these, but sometimes it's helpful to have a visual. So we're going to talk about 3 different doorways, so to speak. So the first is some incredible free resources that Angela will send all to you after the call tonight, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, because there are some great resources that can help people who are just looking to, take some intentional steps in their health, or to help their kids maybe not be as picky eaters to try new things. The second is we'll talk about the nutritional support, and then the company, the Juice Plus company that I mentioned before. So to get started, I want to ask all of you guys a question, and that question is, do you think it's challenging being healthy in the world today?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Totally. Even on our best days, I think, we all feel like we could be doing better. But the truth is, like, as ladies and young ladies, Barb, that includes you, we all want to look good. We want to feel good, and we want to live a long, active life. We want to be around for our kids now, and we want to be around, when we have grandkids, because that's what life is about. It's about people. And we know that in order to do that, we have to take intentional steps in our health. And so that's where the healthy living revolution that Angela and I and many others are involved with comes in. And the company and the movement of people really want to help people take their health back in small, tangible, and doable ways. And the foundation of that, to no surprise, is good nutrition. And we have to flood our bodies with the most important foods we can ever eat. And that's really raw fruits, vegetables, and berries. I'm going to go ahead and hit mute, guys, just so that everybody's muted so we don't have background noise. So we have to flood our bodies with the most important things we could ever eat. And this may surprise some of you. It did me. But statistics nowadays say that we're supposed to eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables. And if you think about how much, like, that's 9 to 13 fistfuls, that's a lot. Like, to think about crunching that many raw fruits and vegetables, it can be a lot. And so even on our best days, we tend to eat a lot of the same thing, and not necessarily the variety or the consistency we need. And that's why Juice Plus, I think, resonated with Angela. And her mom actually introduced her to this years ago, which I had no idea until her and I started talking. So Barbie, kudos to you as a mom who was looking out for her little ones and trying to, protect them by getting lots of nutrition in them. It's evident that for Angela and all of the kids, Ashley and all of them, that has really spilled down into what they do now in their lives, and also for their kids. So I think that's really cool, because that's, in my mind, that's building a legacy in a really cool way and looking out for them in a very special way. So I'm going to flip slides here again and talk a little bit about what Juice Plus is. So Juice Plus has been around for over 25 years, which is why Angela had taken it when she was little. But it's 30 raw fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. And then there are 15 additional plants in a whole food beverage that is a plant-based protein powder. And it all starts with farm fresh nutrition. So a couple of things that I didn't know before our pediatrician introduced us to this when I was pregnant with my firstborn. I guess I should say our firstborn because I didn't do that alone, right? So the fruits and vegetables that are in convenience stores, sometimes even at farmers markets, they're picked really way in advance. And a lot of the nutritional content is lost in that process because when fruits and vegetables are vine ripened, they get their full nutritional content. And the thing that Juice Plus the thing they do that makes it a little bit different is they process the fruits and vegetables to get them into the capsule or gummy form for kids or adults if you don't like swallowing pills. They juice and dry them, located really close to farms where there are super high standards in order to process them to make sure that all the micronutrients and all the density of the plants are still maintained. And they use the whole food. So if you think about how we eat an orange, a lot of times we take the peel off. We don't eat the peel because that sounds gross. And usually they're waxy and kind of covered in pesticides and different things. But at these farms, everything is processed and farmed at a really high quality. And so they actually take all the peels, the leaves, the seeds, everything, and they throw it into this big grinder that grinds it up and produces these high concentrated nutrition capsules or chewables for children. And I'll get a little bit into a few more things that make it unique here in a second. The protein powder is amazing. It's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, whole food protein with fiber, and it's really just fruits and veggies in a shake. It has a nutritional label, so that makes it a little bit different. And we use it to make all kinds of things, and I know Alicia can attest to this. We use it to make pancakes, healthy pancakes for the kids with no sugar added, protein balls, healthy cookie dough with no dairy or anything bad in it, and just lots of really fun things for the kids. So the three things that make Juice Plus unique from a lot of the other products that are out there are, the first is that it's 45 whole foods. So I don't have the bottles here, but if I did, on the back of it, it's actually a nutrition label. So a lot of products that are out there today are supplements. They're not whole foods. Even if they say that they're a whole food vitamin, the back of it will be a supplement label instead of a nutrition label. So if you were to go to the grocery store and look in the supplement section, you wouldn't find Juice Plus because it is technically considered a food. It would be in the produce aisle, which makes it really unique. And I already mentioned these things, that it's non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free. The second is it's NSF certified. So there are a lot of companies out there that have products, but when things are supplements, they aren't required to report everything that is in those products because supplements aren't regulated. Food is more regulated, and there's a company called NSF, and they're a third-party company that comes in and independently tests every single batch to make sure that what's on the label is in the label. And that's something that Juice Plus pays additional money for in order to certify and show that the products are the best quality. And then the last is, this slide is outdated, and I say this every time, I need to update it. But there are over 35 clinical studies that have been done over the last 30 years. So I think last count there were 38, and they're literally from all over the world. And these aren't the kind that you can pay your way into or anything like that. These are from prestigious hospitals and universities throughout the world, like MD Anderson Cancer Institute, Nemours Children's Hospital, lots of different, very reputable schools. So those are the three things that really make it unique. And because it's classified as a food, it's safe for people of all ages, including pregnant and nursing mamas. My pediatrician was the one that recommended it to me. It's safe for kids, elderly, and even professional athletes. And then there are a couple other things I'll just mention really quickly here. Is there's an omega blend. So prior to learning about this, we were taking an omega, and we didn't realize that we thought fish produced omegas, but they actually don't. They eat it from the algae that they consume in the ocean. And so what I think is really cool is there are 5 different omegas in the omega, which are really great for brain health, especially in kids, to get those good fatty omegas, but they go straight from the plant. So they eliminate the middle fish, and we're not, it's more sustainable long-term in terms of our world and the overfishing that goes on nowadays. And then something not represented on this slide, here's the protein powder. There are some bars that are really handy on the run. There is a hydroponic tower garden, which in Florida is great because our soil is awful. It's really hard to get anything to grow down here. So we have some tower gardens where we grow our own produce, which is really neat because we can just go grab it fresh off the garden, teach our kids about how to grow things, and also eat that. And then the Shred Tim program is a jump start for people that are looking for a fun, supportive community to really kind of accelerate their health or get their family on track. So I think that's a little bit about the products. So are you guys ready to move into some stories? Yeah, okay. So Angela, why don't I have you go first and I'll unmute you. So I just
Sorry, I'm watching this and loving this. I'm just in the bathtub. So please continue. I am ready to hear stories.
Awesome.
No, I'm so serious though. I've got 2 kids and I have no idea about the regulation of supplements. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I love
Just being honest. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So Angela, why don't you share a little bit just about, why we got connected and kind of where your heart is with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of you know that I've been dealing with some chronic pain in my low back for the majority of this year that started in January, and just been really struggling through figuring out what it is and how to fix it. I've been through spinal doctors and chiropractors and physical therapists, and I've had cortisone injections, and I've tried acupuncture. I've done blood work to rule out anything autoimmune related, just on and on and on for the past, 8 or so months. And at the beginning of July, or really the end of June, I really felt like God was prompting me to try changing my diet to see if that had any effect. And so I started an anti-inflammatory diet called the ketogenic diet, and right away started seeing results. And it really, first of all, it made me feel like my back pain had purpose, which was really cool, just to see that, God uses everything in our lives for his way and for his plans and everything. And, just that it really led me to investigating, what I'm putting in my body and my nutrition. And so through all of that, I've just been doing a lot of research. I've been consuming a ton of podcasts, just reading a lot of research out there. And Juice Plus came up, and I've been seeing a lot of what Lauren had been posting on social media and stuff like that. And I had taken the product previously years ago and had good results with it, but just didn't really, maintain taking it after, my mom wasn't paying for it, basically. And so after reaching out to her and getting connected, I just, again, really, I felt very strongly that I needed to move forward with this. Like Lauren was saying, this isn't a supplement. It is real food that you're putting into your body. And there's just so much I've been learning about, even the fruits and vegetables, like Lauren said, that you're buying at the grocery store or getting straight from the farmer's market don't always have the nutritional content that we hope they do and that we think that they do. So I really love the product. And then from a business standpoint, I'm really at a place in my teaching career where I'm ready for something else. I'm just kind of, burnt out and done with it. And I have been for a few years. But I really feel like all of this, from the start of my back pain has been the Lord moving me in a direction of, the health and wellness arena. And so I think that getting involved with Juice Plus is just, the first step. Like, I can do this part-time, and see just, how it grows and how my business grows in this, and then what I can do from there. Possibly, I've thought possibly about, doing something like health coaching eventually. But so, yeah, as soon as I started connecting with Lauren, I just loved her positivity and the positivity of all of the members of this community that I've come in contact with. It really is just something very different. And I love that. It's not your typical multi-level marketing company that, just wants to sell. I've never been somebody who wants to be a salesperson. But when it comes to just, helping people live a healthier life, like, that is right up my alley and something that I'm passionate about. So that's kind of where I am and how I got started with all of this.
That's awesome. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. It's so cool how you just never really know, I guess, what people are looking for and what they need. And, just by being authentically yourself and just sharing your life, like, you really get to impact other people in an awesome way. All right, Alicia, are you in a good spot where you can share? I see the girls running around.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, sorry. Piper's here next to me, my little 3-year-old. She fell and got hurt, so she's next to me. Anyhow, so my name's Alicia. I'm from Tennessee. Well, I'm not from Tennessee. I'm from Ohio. I went to high school with Lauren, and I moved to Tennessee almost 11 years ago. My husband's from here. And so anyway, I wanted to share my story about the product. And so my husband and I had a difficulties getting pregnant. So we had to use fertility medication with my oldest, who is 4. And I'll try to make this short because I'm always really long, but she came out and had a lot of food intolerances, so dairy, soy, and gluten. And then so we had Piper, and she had the same problems. And growing up, I never had the greatest nutrition. My parents were very educated in that department, and so I wanted something better for my girls. My husband decided to go back to change his career, and he went into law enforcement. So the day that Piper was born, he was in the academy all day long and slept all night, and just, it was kind of like boot camp, but at home. So that whole first 3 months of her, actually the whole year of her life, he was gone, because once he started, he did night shift. So then during the day, he slept. So I was just doing whatever was easiest for us. And then I went to school after that first year, and I went into nuclear medicine school, and I started to become more educated about health, about nutrition, and just by the different things that we do. And what I do in nuclear medicine is it's an imaging science. So we are the functioning department of imaging. We do a lot of different scans, like brain scans and bone scans and stress tests. We also do staging for cancer. So PET-CT. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of PET-CT scans, where they stage for cancer or check to see if the radiation is working. Well, while we were learning about that specific modality in school, my instructor was talking about the isotope that we use, which is fluorodeoxyglucose. And he basically said that it's radioactive sugar. As a student, a light bulb kind of went off in my head, and I said, so we're giving these people radioactive sugar so we can see their cancer on our cameras. And I don't know if that tells you all anything, but it just kind of showed me how much, we're eating all of this processed food and all of this sugar, and it's energy. It's a form of energy. So our brains need glucose. And if we have cancer and we're feeding our bodies all the, the processed food and sugar, that we're kind of almost feeding the cancer as well. And doesn't make it grow, but it's just giving it more energy. And I just kind of wanted to change, and something in me said, I don't want this for my kids, and I don't want this for me. I don't want this for my family. And so that's where Lauren came along. The girls had been in daycare. They were always sick. And it was just kind of like a godsend, because it was something to me that just resonated so much. It was simple. It was whole food. It wasn't like Angela was talking about, all of these products that are out there just trying to sell with different things in them, and you can't even pronounce what's in them. So, of course, I jumped right on board, and we have been taking it since April. I have noticed a drop in my blood pressure. It was not horrible, but for a 2-year-old, my blood pressure was 136 over, what was it, 80 something, and it dropped down to 110 over 62, which is a good blood pressure for a young person. I noticed my energy went up. My mental clarity has gone up. The girls were on year-long allergy medications, and they no longer have to take them anymore. So it's just amazing what these products can do. And they take them every day. They take their gummies, and they love them. My husband now takes them, and it's just amazing how we are never sick anymore. And we're just healing our bodies, and I just really love, I love that. I love.
Ask a question.
Yeah.
So the children's, or the gummies, what do they taste? I mean, are they like different flavors, or are they?
They're exactly what you get in a capsule. The same thing that the capsules are, but in a gummy form. So you get the garden blend, you get the vineyard blend, and you get the vegetable, right, Lauren? Vegetable blend. So
there's no flavor. Like, what is the gummy? Like, gummies usually have flavors.
Yeah, they taste good.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, kids love them.
Yeah, we can definitely recap or touch base afterward to answer any questions.
I just was wondering, some gummies have like different flavors, and my kids were so picky. I was just wondering what kind of flavor.
Yeah, no, they don't. So they don't flavor them, but they do, just by the nature of them being fruits and vegetables, have some flavor in them. So
that's good, natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
The berries taste like berries, and the vegetable one kind of tastes like a vegetable, but I'm telling you, it can be a little bit of a challenge at first as they're getting used to them. But I mean, my kids have now been on them for 5 years almost, or at least my oldest. My youngest is not old enough to have been on it that long.
Right.
Can make mine like yours.
Yeah, so it's definitely been the godsend. I'm so thankful for it. Mike, I'm sorry.
No, listen, my daughter's standing right beside me. I get you. I mean, we're mommies. I get it.
I just didn't even notice it until Lauren laughed, because I was like, oh yeah, my daughter's talking to me. And I'm in auto mom mode. Here.
No, thank you. Thank you for answering that. That's all I wanted to ask. I just got out of the bathroom. I'm right into my daughter's like, Mommy, I'm going to be sick. I get it. No, thank you for answering that, because I was just wondering about that, because I think that'd be a good thing, for the kids, is a natural gummy.
No,
they also do a children's study, but I think Lauren's going to talk a little bit about that. So
yeah. Well, let's go ahead and we'll keep moving. And any questions, definitely feel free to jot them down, and we'll make sure that we answer those for you. All right, let me share my screen again. All right, so you've got to hear one story. I'm going to share my product and my business story a little bit later. So I alluded to the free resources before a little bit earlier on the call, and Angela can send all of you a link to this, but there's a site it is affiliated with the Juice Plus company, but it's free for anyone. It's called thehealthylivingrevolution.com. It has family cookbooks, children's activities, educational webinars, a home fitness series. It has a Start Strong Kids Challenge, which is a really cool workbook that kids can work through to teach them a little bit more, and a cooking channel for kids, so kids can see other kids cooking, and it gets them really excited to be involved. And then Alicia mentioned the Children's Health Study. which has recently been renamed our Family Health Study. And what that is any child that is 4 or older can get the gummies, the red and green gummies, which is the orchard, the fruits and the vegetables for free with an adult order. And that is one of the elements of the charitable giving of the company. Is it's really about giving back and educating people on the importance of nutrition more than anything else. So our oldest just got that because he's 4.5, and we've been paying for 4 years. So it's really cool that now for the next 4, he gets his for free. And all we have to do is fill out a couple surveys that talk about how he's eating, how much water he drinks, just to help participate in that, which is really awesome. So for the next part of the call, I wanted to hop in and just talk a little bit about the Juice Plus company. And I won't spend a lot of time here, but I think you've heard from Alicia and Angela. This company is really different than a lot that are out there. And one of the things that I think first and foremost is important to mention is that 80% of the Juice Plus that is consumed at all is purchased by customers who don't have any affiliation with the company. So the business is not for everybody, but there are those who are looking for a different type of freedom, and that's what we call our Freedom Revolution. So, this is really just information to share. None of you should feel obligated or anything, but it is a pretty cool company. And for those of us that have been fortunate enough to get behind the curtain, so to speak, and see the people in their hearts, it's just been something that's been really life-changing for me and many others. So it is a virtual franchise. So it's $50 a year to own your own business. A lot of people get started simply because they may want to offset the cost of their product. Which there's a plan that allows people to do that, because essentially the company doesn't want anybody to have to worry about being able to pay for it. And so there is a way to offset that cost. The company manufactures everything, delivers bills, it ships it. You never have to hold anything in your house or hold on to anybody's product. There's no inventory. All commission levels are permanent. That was insane to me the first time I heard that. There are no quotas or minimums, and people can share as little or as much as they want. And there's really no glass ceiling. So like I said early on, it's in over 20 countries and has been around for more than 50 years, technically. The same president that started it is here today. But Juice Plus, as we've talked about it, has been around 25 years this year. And they've continued to add a few products, but it's not one of those companies that looks to add a ton, because it's it has very focused intention and what the company wants to accomplish. And at the top position level of the company, which is really amazing, we have quite a few friends and one person on our team that is there, but they get full medical benefits. And that includes medical, dental, disability, life, long-term care, chiropractic, and the list keeps going, prescription, college tuition assistance, holiday bonus, and a monthly expense allowance. So some people, if they're looking to have lots of flexibility and get to stay at home, or to be able to travel around the world and live an amazing life where they can, just live life the way that they want without having to be tied down to a job, this is a very attractive option for them. And then I've already mentioned the charitable giving behind the company. There's a lot more that I could share, but for the sake of time, I will not go into some of that. But it really is a company that inspires healthy living and healthy giving around the world, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to share my story really quick. So my name's Lauren Sanchez. And for those of you that hopped on late, I've known Angela probably for 13 or 14 years now. I met her family through my husband. And our story is a little weighty, but that's really where it starts. So her brother and my husband were best friends growing up, so the families were really close. And 6 months to the day before I met my husband, his mom passed away of cancer at the age of 50, which was devastating for him, as you can imagine. I met him 6 months later. Fast forward a year and a half later, my dad passed away to suicide at the age of 45. He'd struggled with mental illness and addiction the majority of his life. And then fast forward, I guess, 6 years later, his dad passed away to rheumatoid arthritis, which seems crazy, but he got fibrosis in his lungs, and he'd been pretty healthy, and it just kind of came on really fast. And one day his heart just stopped. And that was a month before we got pregnant with our first son. So the only parent we have left is my mom. She's 60. She's been declared legally blind. And so we've just had a lot of medical things in our family where our parents have like struggled with severe health issues really young. And on the outside, for a lot of them, you wouldn't have known because they looked pretty healthy. But I think they had a lot of things going on the inside now that we know what we know. So we actually were interviewing holistic pediatricians, and we found one who had been practicing for 35 years down here. And I went in to interview him, you know, because when it's your first child, you do things like that. And he asked me, are you getting, you know, the nutrition that you need every day through, you know, fruits and vegetables? And I was like, no, I'm throwing up nonstop. I'm so sick. Like, I just can't keep anything down. It's awful. All I want are carbs. And I was just really honest with him. And he was, you know, he just said, well, you know, there's a company that's been around a really long time, and it's an easy way to make sure your baby is getting the nutrition that it needs and that you're getting it too. And that was all he said. And I said, sign me up. Like, if it's going to make my baby healthier and give them what they need, then I'm 100% in. Well, when we said yes as a family, I don't think we really knew what we were saying yes to, because we trusted him, right? Because he'd been practicing for so long. And I consumed the product for 4 years religiously. I used to have to get allergy injections. I had severe allergies to grass, everything. Also had gastric issues, constipation, had to get all kinds of stuff done. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. I was very sick growing up and always on antibiotics. And so over the course of the 4 years, we have no antibiotics in our home at all anymore for me. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I have more energy than I've ever had. And so 9 months ago, I met a friend through a friend, and we both found out we were taking Juice Plus. And she's like, why don't you offset the cost of your product? And I was like, that kind of makes sense. She's like, you've been paying for it for 4 years, Lauren. Like, why wouldn't you just share it with a couple family members and get yours paid for? And I was like, well, I'm already telling people about it anyway, so that makes sense. So shared it with a couple family members. They started seeing health benefits really right away. I also skipped past my kids. So I would say my firstborn, he struggled a lot with RSV and different colds and things, but I started Juice Plus literally like the week he was born. And my second had it throughout my entire pregnancy with him, and their health is so different, which I know all children are different, but even their palates of what they want to eat because of something called metabolic programming, like we totally see that in them. And now they've both been on it pretty steadily over amount of time, and they never get sick. If they do, they get like a fever and it goes away. Like, the teachers always are like, your kids are never sick. Everyone else is kissing on them with the flu. How are they not sick? And I mean, I think a lot of it is just because of not only the adding Juice Plus, but we've tried to change what we eat as a family so that we have more, a better strengthened immune system. So in the last 9 months, I've lost about 30 pounds just from changing what we eat. It's not just from consuming Juice Plus. But my workouts have stayed the same. My husband also has, and that has been a testament to our Shred 10 program, which is 10 days out of every month where we really try to eat really clean. It's taught us some awesome habits, and we've learned a lot from a lot of other people in the community. So what started out as a journey to offset the cost of my product turned into me just sharing naturally with people things that they were curious about, not being that salesperson that Angela talked about, just educating people on something that's out there that makes life easy. And the past 2 months, we've been able to pay our mortgage with my paycheck. Now, I work a full-time job as a project manager from home, and we didn't need the money, but we've been able to take some really amazing vacations as a family. We just donated 16 filled backpacks to a local charity organization for back to school kids who can't afford backpacks. And in the past, we'd only been able to do like 2 backpacks, and we would split one with a small group. And so, you know, we've been able to do some really cool things, fund missionaries, and just different things that we didn't quite have as much to be able to do before. And it's been a really cool way for us to just give back to the community and to the world in ways that are meaningful to us. So the community, the people become some of my best friends. I have so much fun with them, and they've really helped me to become the best version of myself because they're all super authentic ladies. So I think that's a little bit about my story. And I just want to thank you guys. I know we're a little bit late, but a couple thoughts I want to leave you with is I know that there are some of you who may be ready to kind of take the next step in investing in your health. And if that's you, I would definitely encourage you, if you want more information or you have questions, connect with Angela after the call tonight. It only costs around $2 to $3 a day. Kids can get it for free. And like I said, there's some really easy ways to offset the cost of your product if you identify that there's a need, or if there are people in your life that you think could benefit. And then one of the reasons Angela mentioned she joined this is she's looking for a little bit of a different kind of freedom. And I know that she loves helping people in general. And I know that this is only the tip of the iceberg for her helping other people who have dreams similar to her, even if it's making a little extra money a month, just and having an awesome community to surround. Like $500 can save a marriage. It can pay a mortgage. It can pay a car payment. It can do a lot of things for people, or be given back to make some, you know, really awesome good in the world. So if any of that resonates with you, connect with her. I thank you guys so much for listening. Alicia and Angela for sharing your stories tonight, and just all of you hopping on with your kiddos asleep, or your husband's gone, or them sitting on your laps, or you being in the bathtub. That was awesome. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for hopping on. I know that it means the world to her, and everything. So Angela, do you have any closing words to share with everyone?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I do really, really appreciate you guys just supporting me and encouraging me in this. It's been kind of funny just to hear like people's reactions, whether it's like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, I can't wait to hear more, or like, really, you're going to try to be a salesperson? And I'm like, no, that's not what I said. But anyway, all of you have just been super encouraging and supportive so far, and I appreciate that. So please reach out to me with any questions you might have.
That's because you rock, Angela.
I'll probably take your questions and ask Lauren for the answer, because I'm totally brand new at this, but it's a learning process. So thank you guys.
That's how we learn. And I just flipped my screen on. I forgot to share this picture. Angela will be in these soon since she's new, but these are some pictures of the different conferences and things that we've gone to and been a part of. Our team donated over $1,500 to an organization that helps restore women who have been victims of sex trafficking. So that's what this picture is right here. And then these are just different conferences and events and different things we've been to. So Angela, you'll get to be in these pictures soon and get to spend time with us, which is super awesome. But I mean, all of you just being here means the world to her. And for you guys to continue to support her in her dreams it's pretty awesome to have a community like that. So Angela, I think it's so cool to see your community. Since I don't live close and I don't get to see it, I'm glad I've gotten to see it virtually.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. Well, have a wonderful night, and thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
Get some rest.
Bye.
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 Bye.